Mark J. Tazell/Associated Press. Millennials are killing playoff momentum. The Rams have already clinched the NFC West, but they cannot earn a first round bye when they face the 49ers on Sunday. They are locked into either the third or fourth seed in the NFC playoffs, guaranteeing them one home playoff game and, should they win that, one road game in either Philadelphia, Minnesota or Carolina. The advantage of a third seed over a fourth in the NFC is so minuscule that the Rams have almost nothing to play for this week, and head coach Sean McVay, a refreshing 31-year-old slice of avocado toast in a profession dominated by fogies, knows it. Being locked into that third or fourth seed, every single game is important, but I think it will provide an opportunity for us to potentially get some guys healthier, rest them, give some other guys a chance to step up, McVay said in his Tuesday press conference. That's a luxury that we want to take advantage of, McVay continued, and everything that we do is what we think is best for our football team. That's right, old-timers. The Rams are going to rest their starters, conventional wisdom be damned, even though they technically still have something to play for. And because McVay is a hip, young trendsetter, this newfangled line of reasoning is already catching on. Mike Tomlin, who isn't all that old but is definitely old school, is considering resting Steelers starters in the season finale against the Browns, even though the Steelers still hold slim hopes of earning home field advantage in the AFC playoffs. Steelers coach Mike Tomlin. Keith Strakosic/Associated Press/Associated Press. I'm undecided as I stand here right now, Tomlin said when asked about resting starters. It's obvious that those types of discussions are in play. Home field advantage in the AFC is far more important to the Steelers than the third seed in the NFC is to the Rams. Tomlin is mulling the risk of conceding a likely AFC championship game in Foxborough against the risk of losing Ben Roethlisberger or Le'Veon Bell and making a Super Bowl run impossible, regardless of where the games are played. Antonio Brown just suffered a partially torn calf muscle in Week 15, so the potential of losing an indispensable player is still fresh in Tomlin's mind. The Steelers also need the Jets to beat the Patriots to give them a crack at the top seed. If Tomlin needs help deciding whether to rest his starters, he just needs to watch 30 seconds of Bryce Petty tape. His next stop will be Landry Jones's locker to tell Big Ben's backup the good news. The Chiefs, stranded on the same plateau as the Rams, will also rest key starters in Week 17, as head coach Andy Reid confirmed Wednesday. That means no 10 overall pick Patrick Mahomes will make his NFL debut, which will delight Chiefs fans who are certain he is better than Alex Smith anyway. Rest the starters controversy is used to apply only to teams locked into precise playoff positions, especially those that had clinched home field advantage. Even then, they usually involved lots of hemming and hawing from coaches who feared a team that won 13 games would suddenly rust like pickup trucks on cinder blocks if the veterans took a few days off. But McVay and more experienced coaches are now more carefully and realistically weighing the marginal value of a slight playoff seeding advantage against the potential of a devastating injury and the rest and recuperation benefits for the players on the injury report. One look at the NFL's injured reserve list for this season, which is far more impressive than either Pro Bowl roster, should be enough to make any coach wary of a devastating injury. As for the benefits of a week off, two of the Rams' top offensive linemen, 36-year-old left tackle Andrew Whitworth and 32-year-old center John Sullivan, are older than their head coach. Both have been on reduced practice schedules for weeks to keep them fresh and healthy. They don't need rest, they need a break. And if your center and left tackle aren't playing, the quarterback and Pro Bowl running back shouldn't even strap on a helmet. But what about momentum, that mighty mystical force which binds the universe together and punishes teams that dare to look past meaningless late-season games? Momentum is mostly a hobgoblin of little minds. It's something fans worry about because we think that if we stop paying attention to football for 1 week, the home team does as well. Among old-school coaches, momentum is part superstition. These are men who repeat establish the run like an incantation before calling 55 passing plays per game, and part cautionary reminder that some NFL players will book a party boat instead of extra whirlpool time the moment they find out they have a Sunday off. There is a smidgen of merit to adopting a business as usual, win at all costs approach to barely meaningful late-season games. NFL teams thrive on habits and routines, and some locker rooms are equipped to handle a late-season loss or a change in routine better than others. Jaguars coach Doug Marrone. Stephen B. Morton /Associated Press take the Jaguars, like the Rams. They are locked into either the 3rd or 4th seed. A loss to the Titans on Sunday would spark an immediate rematch against the Titans the following week in Jacksonville. While the Titans beat the Jaguars early in the season, they are a familiar and relatively weak foe compared to other possible opponents such as the Ravens, notoriously obnoxious in the postseason, or Chargers, veteran quarterback, scary pass rush,